only who can save the games industry from pirates? You have selected you, referring to me. That is incorrect. The correct answer is you. If you play Save the Game, parentheses, industry from filthy pirates, on phones. Oh, this is on iOS. I guess it's on Android as well. This is put out by the ESA, the Entertainment Software America Association. I don't know. Whoever the evil overlords of the video games industry are in America, as compared to the CESA CESA here in Japan. And who is it for Europe? Is it still Elspa? Is their name still Elspa? It was when I was in Europe. Maybe it's Peggy now, or is that just ratings? I don't know. This is a horribly out of touch video game about piracy. The ESA went through sort of waves of sort of combating piracy. They pick it up and put it down. They pick it up again. And I remember in the early 1990s, they thought the kids that steal all those video games, they like the rap music, don't they? And that's from whence Don't Copy That Floppy, the infamous music video came about. And now, 20 plus years on from that, they've gone, these kids that steal video games, they like video games, don't they? Let's make a game about combating piracy. You've got a choice here. Which campaign are we going to go to? Special agent or indie game developer? Here's a hint. They're both the same game, just a different thing. So here we go. I'm going to play as this guy. I am in the cyber crimes division, so it's very exciting. You're investigating game leeches. And basically what you do is you Bill's List, yeah, you go through this fictionalized version of Craigslist looking for people selling knocked off DVD-Rs, because that's how people steal video games, I guess. I don't know, am I out of touch? I remember, you always used to be car boot sales, you get floppy disks, knocked off tapes, but DVD-Rs, really? And you just download it? It doesn't make sense, it's just from the get-go, it doesn't ring true. Not that I pirate, certainly, I don't pirate video games, and I don't play games on PC, but I don't pirate console games, but I'd imagine you download that shit, don't you? Really? Or do you look at Craigslist? I don't know. You have these choices, but they don't really bear any relation. So I'm just going to go in my city and other city, and add in my city and another city using the same email address. This could be complex. It's not complex. I can make buys using both hands. Basically, this guy you're playing, who's me, because I put my name in, he just buys, basically so far in this game, he buys pirated games under the guise of, well, I'm building a case. He just buys lots of knocked off video games. So I'm going to buy more knocked off video games here. It doesn't matter. You can say email the guy. The game's exactly the same. The actual game, what you actually do, is exactly the same. So it'll say objectives here. Search Bill's List, Craigslist, in my city and others, and make purchases. They don't make any difference. You just, you play this rubbish puzzle game. Here's a thing. You can, there you go. Equip. There's sort of perks for this game that, you unlock. You got money. I thought for a second that this was incredibly ironic and it was going to have a bunch of free-to-play mechanics in here. That would have been shameful. But it's not. You have to earn a certain amount of in-game currency. You have to grind that out. You can't skip it with money or anything like that to get little perks. But let's go in and play this game. This game actually plays a bit like the War Games game that came out on iOS a little while ago, which is to say you have a grid, and rather than matching 3, you want to trace a line between like objects, and then do that and take your finger off and it caches that in. So you want to fill up the 35% search folder and the 0% evidence folder. You know, I want to fill those up so they're both 100 or over. But there are filthy pirates stopping me from doing my job, and if those count, you know, if those the skull and crossbones with the 5, 5, and 5, those are horrible, filthy, nasty pirates, and they represent 5 turns. And once that ticks down, then I don't know, I get damage done to me, I guess. So you know, we don't want that to happen. So I can also connect these green things to fill up this bar in the bottom right corner. If I do that enough, then I can remove one of the filthy pirates from the board. So yeah, the War Games game that came out, I quite enjoyed, actually. That's because it was really well presented aesthetically. It had nice subject matter because it was about war games, which was, you know, an old film that people liked, as opposed to being kind of a cynical attempt to get the kids to stop stealing stuff. And also it was good, and this isn't good, actually. Whereas with war games, the puzzle grid took over the entire screen. In this game, you're actually playing in a really small space in the middle of the screen, and the top and bottom are wasted on this portrait of me, which, you know, I don't see what purpose that does, and your special move counter thing in the bottom right hand corner, and so the actual play space you have is very small, which means when you want to go diagonally or go straight to the left, it's very difficult at making tiny little corrections. And it's really horrible. So I'm going to use my special attack and get rid of that thing, and then you do that. I'm saving the industry from kids. When the kids get off my lawn, stay out my bins, kids. Do that. Yes. All in one go. Yep. So I just got to get these magnifying glasses. This is how crime is fought. Matching light-colored symbols on a grid. This is actually how they catch pirates, you know. So this is edutainment at its finest. How many moves I can do here? Yeah. Yeah, I could have gotten a longer chain there, but I can't be bothered because it would take too long to go back and actually get this to work. I might run out of turns here because it's not giving me any magnifying glasses, rather. Which is terrible. Yeah, it's free on whichever format you get it on. It would have been funny if it was paid, or if it had in-app purchases. Then I could recommend that you steal, you find some way of subverting that stuff. Because it would be amusing if it was more cynical. But still, that doesn't, just because it's not so cynical, it doesn't mean it's any good, because it's really not. Oh no, neither target has a criminal history. Never mind, time to buy more pirated games. Oh god, this is really not good. This is really not good at all. So yeah, that's the crime fighting end, and then there's also the indie game developers, because that's what piracy really does damage to, is the indie game developers. So yeah, let's see how you make a video game. Here's me again. I've grown breasts since our last encounter and changed skin pigmentation. So I'm going to release my game. I made my game before. Here's a hint. I'm You know, if you're sad that you missed that part, I made the game the same way I searched for evidence just now, by matching symbols on a grid. Should I release later for a much better and more published builds? No, let's release a paid beta right now, and then get everybody's money early. I mean, get feedback early. Yeah, it's definitely the best idea. I will submit it to the A Store and the Apple. So this is how your beta games is the same way that you capture cyber criminals, except instead of matching magnifying glasses, you gotta match idea light bulbs, and instead of matching search folders, you've got to match blue screens of death, I guess. I don't understand who this game is for. I guess there's a lot of piracy in the mobile space, but I don't actually think that's under the ESA's purview. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I'm not in America, so I wouldn't know, really. But it seems, when you're doing the console part, and when you're doing the console part or the crime fighting part, the guy is saying, I've got to stop this piracy of console games. And when you're playing like this indie game developer, there's a time limit on this. I've got to work quickly here. When you're playing as this indie game developer, then they're talking about the piracy of PC games. But this is a mobile game, so it's neither of those things. And I think actually the people that are into stealing console games and the people that are into probably stealing PC indie games aren't usually the type to play mobile games, and certainly not this type of thing. So who are they planning for this message to actually reach? I don't know, really. I don't think they know. It just sort of reeks of not being in touch. This is really, truly, hokey and kind of badly made. And this generation's equivalent to Don't Copy That Floppy. But Don't Copy That Floppy was amazing and funny, and this is not. So yeah, that's never to say that this is pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty good at matching stuff. My game's now up in the store. Finally, anyone in the world can buy a game I made. Yeah, I released a beta and I'm charging money for it. That's not terribly cynical at all. I deserve to be pirated. Should I start creating a new game or update my existing one? I bet the gameplay will be the same either way. Let's update my current game. Yep, surprise, surprise, it's the same. Yeah, it's just, it's awful. It's out of touch, and I don't want to sound like I'm pro-piracy and then I'm going, look at this terrible attempt by the ESA to vilify us, Jolly Roger touting pirates. Ha 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 ha, isn't it awful? I'm not that. I think typically, you should probably pay for stuff if you want it, video games wise. And I don't pirate video games, but this is not going to convince anyone in any way at all. It's never going to teach someone who steals video games to not steal video games. It's not going to do that at all. It's just a sort of cheesy, hokey story in between bouts of a not really very good version of a quite decent puzzle game. It really, I don't get why it exists. And that is Save the Game on iOS. I think it's on Android as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So forgive me for that. It is free, and it doesn't sort of ask you for in-app purchases or anything, so you don't have to steal it. You can just get it for nothing. But you might just kind of feel that your time's being wasted by a preachy thing with no real determinable audience. Yeah, not very good, this one. Chris Sharp for CodeUpop.com. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, I can start my new game now. What am I going to make? You just released your first game. But no game liege pirate shall get in the way of your game development empire. Time to start on a new one. Yep, I'm going to start that new chapter of my life by deleting this app off my phone. Chris Sharp for CodeUpop.com. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.